Okay. Yeah. So last time we covered relationships in Microsoft Access, and we said they help you to join different tables together, or they help you to show a relationship between two different entities. Yeah. Now, like here, we didn't do a demonstration, but we may be having a students table, having some information about students. Then we may be having also like a teachers table. Yeah, but the demo we're going to do is a student, then also against books, like the books we borrow from a library. So we're going to create a table for books, then we create some information, then we try to join those two tables together. Yeah, so to create a table, I can come to create, then click on table, then I type in the name of the table. So by default, it will come as table 1. So I right click here, then I click on save, then I give it a name. So I can call it books. Yeah. So which information can be stored on a books table? Can cross these ones. Yeah, anyone can give me which information can we store. So we need to go to the design view. Then we start now putting in the information here. Yeah, so the ID, yeah, we can leave it to be the auto number, that is 123, that auto increments. Then we can keep the book name. Yeah, so which data type is this going to be? Kenneth, can you tell me if you're there?
No, it's not here.
Okay, Keith, which data type is book name going to be among these ones? Yeah.
Long text?
I don't think I don't think there is a book name that has more than 255 characters. So it is short text instead.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Then we can have like the ISN number. Yeah, that is the one that uniquely, I think it's ISN or ISBN, like that. Or can be called a book ID, but already have the ID, but that is not the book ID. So it's just the ID into the entry, like the ID for the record. So we can as well go ahead to store the book ID. Yeah, but for now, let's store a book name. Then we store the author. Then yeah, so this will be short text too. Then from the author, we're going to we can also share. We can also get information about like the year or the city. So it can be year of publishing. Yes. So which data type is this? Oluga, can you tell me which data type is this for year of publishing?
Date and time.
Yeah. So that is date or time. Then we have we can also for books, they tend also to have like city where it was published. So you can have city. Then this will be short text. Yeah. So that is it for now. Like uh, that is the information that we can store from a book. But remember, we need to connect the books table to the students table. Yeah. And last time we talked about how do you connect those ones. You use a foreign key. Yeah. So what is a foreign key? It's going to be now a primary key of this table being imported into the books table. Yeah. So we're going to get the students, the ID that uniquely identifies students. Then we're going to put it at the end on the books table. Yeah, so you can call it student ID. But now this time around, we know this other side, it has a data type of auto number, but here it's not going to be auto incrementing. It will instead be a number because we shall have to choose which student has taken this book, but we choose by selecting the student's ID. Yeah. So when you're doing a real like database, it's better you don't use this ID that auto increments. Okay, you can use it that auto increments, but again, you can go ahead to have like student number that uniquely identifies the way we have registration number. But you can't do a foreign key when it is not a primary key in the format table. Yeah, so here we need in the students table to be a primary key. That is the first ID number. Then in the books table, we can call it student ID, but it will be referencing this ID. So if Kenneth took the book, here we shall just write, when we go to the books table, we shall just write Kenneth's ID, this number. So it is Kenneth. We shall just show that the student number 4 took the book. We don't have to write all the information that Kenneth in Samba lives in Mukono like that. We only need to reference the ID. Yes, so I'll come to books, then I put student ID, then it will be a number. Yeah, so that is it, what we can keep on books. There is more information, but this is just for demonstration. So yeah, so let's look at our tables. We have that. Then I can come and look at the datasheet view of my books table. Yeah, so you can see that it has the fields that it has ID, then we have book name, then author, year of publicity, then city, then student ID. So if I'm inputting a book, for example, here it will take number 1, but if I put book name, and maybe it is introduction to science, then we put the author, then we put the year of publicity and city. Then when it comes to the student ID, there we shall just come and reference the student. We shall look at here who took the book. Maybe Jane took the book. So there we shall just write 2. You just write the ID 2. That's going to be the student ID. But we have to be able to select here. Like we need to get a drop down here. I can't just enter like 2 or 1. It doesn't know, like it is not yet informed that it's not yet connected to this student's table. So we have to create a relationship between the two. Yeah, and that's what we're going to work on before we do any entry. Yeah, so this, I'll delete it. We know now that we've deleted it, we shall not be able to use number 1 because it has been already occupied, but there's no problem with that. Yeah. I hope we together, especially those ones that attended the last session, we talked about relationships in which you have different entities. Entities are the things that you're collecting information from. That is, here we have students, then books, then teachers. Yeah, so for every entry has an attribute, and the attribute can be the column name or the field. For example, for students, they have attributes which includes ID, registration number, first name, last name, gender, like that. Then books, we have attributes like ID, book name, author, year of publicity, city, and now the student ID is a foreign key. Why is it a foreign key? Because it is coming from a different table. It's going to be coming from the student's table, but we're going to attach it on the book so that we know which student took that particular book. Yeah, so we went ahead to show the different types of the relationships that you can have. You can have one-to-one relationship or one-to-many, then many-to-many. Yeah, so you just put one entity on the side, then you put the other one. For example, I put the students on the left, then books on the right. So can one student have many books? Yes, so that is a one-to-many relationship. But also if one book can be taken by many students, then that will become a many-to-many. But now one book can't be taken by many students. So from the book side of view, it is a one-to-one. Only one book can be taken by one student. You can't find a book being booked by 2 different students at the same time. Yeah, so right now we're going to connect it. We're going to connect the 2 tables together. Then we shall be able to come and start inputting the data here. So how we do that, you can come to database tools here. Then there is where there is relationships. So just ensure that you've crossed all the tables, all the objects you have here. Ensure that you've crossed everything so that you're able to link them together. If you don't cross, it will not allow you to connect them. Yeah, so I'm going to come to relationships. Then it's going to ask me which table should I show. So here it will show me tables, then queries and both. Yeah, but right now we don't have any queries yet. We only have tables. So I want to show the books table. So I'll click on add so that it will add the books table. Then I'm going to also show the students table. Then I click on add. Yeah, this is just sorted following alphabetical order, BST, like that. It's not that this is the one that's supposed to be on top. No. Yeah. So now we have two tables. We have the students table and the books table. Yeah, so this is one entity, then this is another entity. This is a books entity, this is a students entity. Then the details, the information down is what they call attributes. Lincoln is asking to do the part again. I think you refer to the recording because we have limited time. We have limited time, but you can catch up from here. Like these are the two entities we're collecting information from. We have the books, then also students. So the information we get, or like the columns that are within, those are called attributes. So an ID, book name, author, year of publishing, and city are attributes of the books entity. Yeah, then for the students entity, these are the attributes that we have. So we want to show that there is a relationship between these two, like books and student. One book can be taken by one student, then one student can take as many books as possible. So if you say one student can take many books as possible, that is a one-to-many relationship. If you say one book can only be booked by one student, that is a one-to-one relationship. Yeah. So in case you want to grasp the content and maybe it's not clear, you can watch the video, the last video, and also this one. You watch them. Yeah. So now we need to show that this student ID is a foreign key, but from where? It's from the students table. And which field is that? Is the ID field here. Yeah, so you drag and drop this other side, but you point to the certain attribute. Like I want to show that this ID, which is in the books table, is a student ID. Yeah, so most of the times what you do, you give them the same name. Like you go to the students table, then you call it students ID or student ID. Then you also come here and you call it student ID so that you can easily connect. But just understand that here, which field it is students, the ID field is what we're importing into the books table. So click on this, drag and drop it this other side. Yeah, so we click, then drag and drop, then we shall get this dialog that is showing us that ID on the side of students, which column, because you can choose even more. Like which column on the side of the students do you want to go into the books table? That's what it is trying to tell us. So here, it is the ID field. In the books table, we're going to call it student ID. Yeah, that's all you need to do. Then here you can see that the relationship is one to many. And now if it is one to many, you can see that one is for the students, then many is for the books. Meaning that one student can have many books. Yeah, that's what we're mostly interested. Don't look at the other side, just look at student. One student can have many books. And then after that, just click on create. So it's going to draw this arrow, trying to show that from the students table, we're going to pick that ID, then it is the ID that's going to be used in the books table. Yeah, so is it clear?
Yes,
Is it
it's
clear to
clear.
everyone how it is done?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Anyone else that has not got it? Yes, Anisha.
I've not got that part where we drag.
Can you please repeat it for me?
Okay. Yeah, like we have tables. Let me first open the tables. We have the students table, then we have the books table. Yeah, so we've collected information from students. This is the information that we have. Now we've opened another entity or another object that we need to collect information from, and that entity is called books. So we have books in a library and we want to show that students can come and book them, but I need to know which student took those books. Yeah, so first of all, I'm going to first store the information from books. That is the book, okay, the ID for each record, the normal ID, then which is going to act as the primary key for that particular book. So I'm going to enter the first book and will be given 1. The second book will be given 2. Another book will be given 3, like that. So we have gone ahead to also collect the book name. Then we also need to know the author, then year of publicity, city. Then there is more other information that you can correct, though we've not added it here, like the date on which the book was taken and on which date is supposed to be returned. If you need to add more information, you can just right click here, then you go to the design view. Then here you can insert, for example, around here, can click insert rows. Okay, let me insert it down here. I just want to add day it was taken or day it was booked. Yeah, so this is going to be date time. Yeah, so now we have city, they booked, that is the day on which the book was booked. Then now I need to know which student took this book. Yeah, so instead of coming here and I input the registration number, the first name, the last name, the gender, date of birth, all that information, all I need to pick is the ID of that student. So I'll pick the primary key from the students table, then I add a column of it here. Then I'm going to call it student ID. So yeah, I'll just be writing which student took the book, maybe student 8. So I'll come and know that Keith is the one who took the book. I don't need to add all the information. So I come to the books table, then I create another column. I know that this student ID will be coming from the students table. Yeah, so that is the first bit that you need to first understand. Then after that, now you have to go ahead and you create a relationship between the two. So you have to go ahead and you create a relationship between the two tables that you have. So click on database tools, then click on relationship. So right now it's already open, that's why it's great. So when you open it, you need to add these two different tables, like the process I've showed you how you add them. So I've added the books table this side, then the students table this side. So we need to show Microsoft Access, which, okay, here the books table, which information or which primary key am I picking from the student? That is the student ID. Then which column is it going to be stored on the books table? It's going to be stored on the student ID. Here, the student ID code, this student ID column. So just click here, then drag and drop, then point into student ID like that. So here it will show us that on the side of students table, it is picking the ID, connecting it to the student ID in books, meaning that under books, what is stored under student ID is going to be picked in the ID column from the students table, like that. So here you can see the one-to-many relationship. Here there are more other choices, but others are a bit advanced. We're not going so much into them. Yeah, but that's all you need to do. Just drag and connect, show that where the two tables are going to join each other, because it's called joining or inner joining. Yeah, so the ID from the student table is going to connect to the student ID in the books. Then click on create, then that line will be drawn. So here it will be showing that when you go to the books table under student ID, that ID is picked from the students table. Yeah, like that. Then save this. Then now you can close. Hope all of us now we've got it. Yeah, so now
Yep.
I need to start storing the information about books. So I'm going to start inputting the book. Maybe like we said, introduction. Yeah, it is starting from 2 because I deleted record 1, and you cannot reuse a primary. Like you cannot reuse that ID unless you're going to reset the whole database. So let's call it introduction to physics. Then the author can say okay, can say maybe about Einstein. Then I can say the year of publicity now here. Yeah, since we've also said date or time, we can choose any date even if today. Then the city, we can say maybe London. Then the day that it was booked. So we're going to show that it was booked yesterday. Then you see here under student ID. So here I need to just get to know the student ID from the students table. Yeah. So let me open it here. So I want to show that maybe Keith is the, okay, let's say Kenneth is the one that booked that table, that book. So I'll type in 4 here, 4, like that. Then you do another entry. So this can be yeah, this is just name of the book. Then choose the date on which it was published. Then the city. Then you can put the day in which the book was published, was booked. So yeah, I'm just selecting random dates. They may not be because these ones are not right. So the student ID, then you type in the ID of the student that took the book. So yeah, let me say 2, like that. Yeah, then you can save this, then also save this. Yeah, there are other things that you need to do, though we're not going to do them here, so that you get a drop down here and you can select from the students. But that is more work. We're not going to go into that. For now, we're just looking there and we get the ID, but it is possible to get a drop down that does so. So after that, then just okay, then now just save. Yes, so when we come to students, for those, when we come to the students table, for students that have taken books, when I click on plus, like this 2 has taken a book, when I click on plus, you see that it is showing me which book it was taken by that student. Yeah, so it was advanced mechanics. When I click on this plus for Kenneth, it will show me introduction to physics was taken by Kenneth. Now let's try these ones that don't have yet. You see that they are blank. So you see that I'm in the students table, but I can already see the books that have been taken by those students. But that information is being stored from this other side. Yeah, there are very many things that you can do with it, but now we're not going to go so much detail with it. Yeah, but what I wanted to show you is how you join the 2 tables. Then now we're going to write a query. We're just going to write a query. Okay, we're going to write to form a report. But when that report is basing on the query that is joining the 2 tables together. Yeah. So we're going to first close everything here. Then I come to create. Then I can use query design or query wizard. Why query wizard? Just to make our life easy. Because when you're creating a query from without the query wizard, it will be a little bit hard for you. Yeah. So now we're doing a simple query. We say the query is like a filter. You're saying, bring me this information and this particular information. Yeah, so we're making a query that joins two tables together, but this time round, I'm just going to show the student name vis-a-vis the book name they took, only two fields. Yeah, so I'm going to come to the students table here. Then I select student first name, then also last name. Then I come here to the books table. Then I take the book name, okay, and maybe the day that book was taken. Yeah, so you see from two tables that are existing, I'm going to create a table that is joining two of them. But this time round, I just want to look at the student's name, then also the book name and the day in which it was booked. Yeah, then click next. Yeah, then here you can say detail shows every field. Yeah, leave it to that. We're not going to go into summary. Just leave it to that. Click next. Then here you can give it a name. So for query, remember the other things that we said. For a form, start with FRM. For a report, start with RPT. So for a query, just start with QRT. It's not that it's supposed to be like this. It is just good for naming purposes. Yeah, then here, just open to view more information. Don't modify the query design, then finish it. Yeah, so right now it is done. You see, my query here, it has opened. So it is showing me Jane Namuli took advanced mechanics, then the date was booked. Then Kenneth Insamba took this one, then the date was booked. Okay, now let's go back to books. We add another book. Maybe astronomy. Maybe this time, okay, we need to type in the author. Then we need to type in the date in which it was published. I'm just going to select it and then maybe it was. Then we can take on the date was booked. Then I can type in the ID of the person that took that table, that book. So, okay, let me just add one. Then I save this. Then I come back here to query, save it. Then first close it. First close the whole information. Come to query. Yeah. So now you see another student has been added. Yeah. So this is a continuous table. So there are very many things that you can do with the queries. So that's how powerful queries are. I know it may be a little bit new to you, but when you try to practice, you'll get used to it. So from these two tables, books and student table, we can create other different tables, but when they are picking certain values. So this time around, we only want to look at first name and last name of the student that has the book. Then which book do they take? Did they take? Then and the day that book was taken. Yeah. So with this, we can go ahead and create a form or a report. We can go ahead now, like here. We come to create, then report wizard. Then now you tell the report, where is the report going to be created? Is it from a table or a query? I want it from a query, this query, because it is the one that is bringing first name, last name, the book name, and the day in which it was booked. Then I want to get the whole information. Click next. Yeah, so how do you want to view your data? Is it by students or by books? Yeah, so for this one, you just need to test. If you view by books, then it will bring book, then the first name, last name, book name, then day booked. If you view by students, it will put the students on top, then below it will be showing the book. So let's go with this one by students. Click on next. Then do you want to add anything? The grouping levels? No, they are just say next. We're not covering groups. Then how do you want to assign your data? Is it by book name or the day that it was booked? So let's choose day. So there it will be putting the people that, like, it will just be sorting according to that date. So it will go with the latest date or the last date modified. Then you go to next. Landscape. So here we can choose whether it's stepped. For layout, it is okay. You can just leave it to that. Then give it a name. So this can be report, books taken. Books taken. It is okay. You can write a long name like this, books taken by students, because there you understand it better. Yeah. Then preview the report. Yeah. Click finish. Yeah. So now here you see, it is showing me Jane Namuli, then the day the book was booked and which book was booked. Yeah, so here we only need to go into the layout view, then we adjust this so that it's a big enough to be seen. Yeah, like that. So that is our report showing students and the books they took. Yeah, so here it is starting with that because that's what I selected, but you can go ahead to select something different. Yeah. So is it somehow clear to everyone how we can use the relationships and also queries? Anyone with a question? Okay. Yeah, so for if you want to learn more about like Microsoft Access, we're going to bring it back in phase 2 because this was like a simple introduction. So there you learn more about it and you'll even be able to create like different systems using Microsoft Access. Yeah, so we're going to end here, and this marks the end of our phase 1. Yeah. So after this, we're going to have, I'm going to be sending in the exercise that you need to work on. Then you work on it throughout the week. Then we shall be having the results on Friday of both Microsoft Excel, then the database. Yeah. So in case there's something that is not clear, you can either reach out to me or you can first go and watch that particular recording that has that thing that was covered. Then we shall aggregate all the marks from Excel and Microsoft Access. Yeah, then we shall rank you according to the performance. Yeah, phase 2 is coming in mid-August. Yeah, then more information will be communicated to you. So right now we're going to have communication, first of all, from learners, those that would like to say something. Then from there, we shall have some words from Mr. Adrian. Then we shall have a few words from our secretary, that's Madam Patricia. Then at the end, we shall have a few words from our executive director. Yeah, so, okay, let me get just using just 1 minute. So let's hear from Anisha. Anything you'd like to say? Because this is our last session. Anisha, are you there? Okay. Yeah. If you can't, okay, if maybe you have a noisy background or what, you can just send a message for the learners. Yeah. So Keith, are you there? Keith, are you there? Or Kenneth? Any of you? Okay, let's go to Lincoln. Are you able to talk? Okay, you welcome.
Hi, Mansoor. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I personally have attended my first computer classes since 2012 from here. And I am I'm a very old boy. I'm at university. I am doing dental surgery, but I was lacking in so many aspects, and this has given me an opportunity to hone my skills. And now I can confidently put it as part of my CV, skills in Microsoft, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint, and MS Access, one which is still challenging me a bit, but I believe I'll get it. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, so Isaac, are you there? Wamara Isaac.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, please. Anything you'd like to say in our last session?
I've got it. I've got it. What I've been asking for.
Okay. In case you want the YouTube videos, you can follow that link.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Kenneth, are you back? Okay. Okay. I don't hear. So right now, let's hear from Mr. Adrian.
Hello.
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Yes. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for the tremendous work you've done. It has been really nice, and also I also like to thank the people that have tried to manage their time to be able to attend up to the end. I know we started with a big number, though it kind of reduced, but we're happy that at least we had people to take it up to the end. For those of you who have taken it up to the end, we're really grateful and we're looking forward to seeing you for the phase 2. And more things are coming, just in case. We are planning more better things, more bigger things. So just stay around. I also I'd like to thank the management. Thank you so much for the input, the support to make sure that this thing happens. I'm grateful to be part of this personally, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next in the next phase. Yeah, just maybe a simple thing or a simple maybe background. I'm also at university. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Adrian, for all the words in all the sessions, also always attending. Yeah, the exercises and everything. Yeah, thank you so much. Then right now, let's hear a few words from our secretary. That's Madam Patricia Cheney.
Hi, everyone. I need to first confirm with Mansoor. Can you hear me? Am I clear?
Yes, please. Yeah,
All
you're
right.
very clear.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Once again, my name is Patricia, and I'm the Secretary of Visionary Minds. And I'd like to thank you, Mansoor, for the, I don't know if I can even call it hard work, but you always come through, you always present, and you always give it your all. Thank you for imparting knowledge. We don't take it for granted that you put aside everything to come through and and do your best. Mr. Agent Chidabida, thank you so much for attending. I sometimes go back and watch the videos on YouTube for the times I'm not able to attend. Thank you guys so much, so much for working hand in hand to to see this first phase of this project to completion. I don't take it for granted. Thank you for your hard work, for your sacrifice, and thank you guys so much. And now for the people, like the students in this case, I'd like to commend you guys for your tenacity. It's I've struggled with computer for the bigger part of my life, so I don't take it for granted that you have showed up and continue to show up even when things got challenging, even when things were not easy. Thank you for asking the questions, getting the answers, getting back to the drawing boards, doing the assignments and submitting them. It's amazing what you're doing. You're doing amazing. Keep on keeping on. I'd also like to thank Mr. Agent called it the management, the people we are handling this with. Thank you guys so much for the idea, the initiative. I hope we can reach out to even more people in the future, you know, in the next phase or in the next project. Thank you. Or the previous speakers have kind of set, I don't know what to call it. They call it a background of some sort. I'm not at university anymore. I'm kind of an old woman. I graduated this year. I did construction management. Mansour was my classmate. And yes, I'd like to thank him again because he has always been that person who came through for everyone. I'm glad he's coming through for even more people. May the good Lord continue to bless you guys. That's it from me. Thanks again.
Okay, you're welcome, and also thank you for everything. Yeah, so right now let's have words from our executive director.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Can we
Great.
can.
Yeah, okay, guys, give me a second. Okay. Yeah, first of all, I just want to say a great thank you to everyone who actually got who took the time to be part of this big project. And if it wouldn't be anything without you guys, so everything that we did, it's the people who participate that make it a big deal. So I just want to say I'm so happy that we actually did this, and very many people joined at the start, but the consistency is what brings you out, as I already said this some time back, but being consistent is what pays off in the long run. So I just want to thank Mansoor for the great work. You've been 100% into this and helping throughout in days when I was breaking out in areas without connection and stuff. But yeah, I always tried to be here. But you've always been there for the students and those learning. So I just, sorry guys, my connection was terrible.
Okay, maybe okay, our connection may be not that good. Yeah, but we would like to thank everyone that has done anything to ensure that this happens. Then also attendance. Yeah, we know we have issues with internet connectivity, maybe the data. Yeah, but at least you've always come through. So in case there are some things that you need to rewatch again, just go to our YouTube channel, then you watch through those recordings. Then again, about the platform, that is the education.vmedi.org. Yeah, we continue to develop it. So we're going to post there more content, then trying to make it easier to do everything from there, where you can even do the quizzes. So even if this phase 1 is done, you can always continue to use that same platform, because when it comes to phase 2, we're going to use the same platform. Yeah, so it's going to be like that. So the NGO is here to do more and more of these trainings. This is the first training actually. Yeah, but we shall continue to have more trainings. Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's back. Maybe we can have yes, please, you can go.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we hearing you.
Yes. So sorry guys, I broke up. I'm in a very deep village somewhere in Ghana, so but yeah. So I just want to say thank you guys for all being part of all this, and we're hoping phase 2 is going to be live. So we're going to have partners. We're going to be partnering with universities and some companies to give us free data and all that. So I'm just trying to organize all that. So it's going to be more flexible. I know it's been hard for the connection and the data and the cost with the 12% tax, everything. I really understand. So that's the main purpose why actually most of the people couldn't be consistent, which is understandable because even I personally would just say, oh, it's too much data. So yes, the phase 2, once it starts, whoever has attended phase 1, we shall bring you in and where you help the newcomers where they should start from, or we can also continue from there with you. We hope to make this a bigger deal and push for it so that at the end of the day, we both benefit. The organization is here to help everyone, both educated, non-educated. With such courses, we just appreciate whoever comes in to learn. It's free. Totally, we just have partnerships that will help us take through some of the costs and everything. So you shouldn't be worrying, oh, we have to pay something. No. So and then if you did this first phase, you're gonna get your certificate. You'll get it, that is assured, even if not right now, but you'll get it sure. As long as your name is on our register, we have all the details. So unless you didn't give us the right details, just feel free to inbox in the group and all that. And then the rest of the information, we shall always be passing them on through the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Feel free to follow any of those. You don't have to follow everything and be a stalker. Well, it will be too much work, but just follow whichever media is good for you and you can easily get up. So most of the details will be passed on from there. So a quick background forming this NGO. It's you will know all of us. We are four. I'm the CEO, Mansu is the deputy, and then we have Patricia, she just spoke to her. And then we have Ruth, the treasurer. She will come in sometime in the second Zoom. So we formed this to help out women and young girls in science. We call it tech, science, technology, engineering, and construction. The rest of the details we'll post it online. So this was formed to help us. Like we have people out there who have they have the talents and they have the abilities to actually do these courses, but they lack the motivation and they lack a start. So in the future, our vision is to be able to actually give monetary support to such people, sponsorship to go and study elsewhere, good universities, good schools. So that's the vision, and that's where we are following up on. So we are growing big. It's still young right now. Everything good, everything big starts small. So that's where we are right now. So full background on me. I'm a graduate of construction management, 2021. Besides that, I volunteer with Foundation for Developing Partners, based in Canada. And then I volunteer with also Ministry of Health. Sorry, those are just minor things I've always done aside. I'm a fashion model from 2017, a pageant queen representing Uganda in different countries. So, and I do sales and marketing for hotels and restaurants and other stuff. So little background, less of that. You get to know me more the more you interact with our NGO. We are very happy to be here. I don't want to speak too much. I'm going to cut this short by saying thank you all for being part, and thank you, Mansu, for taking part. Andrian, I sent you a message. I really appreciate your input. And for everyone, Patricia, thank you. And all the students, we love you. Send you our blessings and keep updated. We're here to serve you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So these are some of our social media pages. We have Twitter. Then we also have Instagram. We have Facebook. Yeah, we're using the same name. Just search for VMed or VMed-org. Then you'll find us anywhere. Yeah, you could see we are posting some of the feedback that you gave us. So in case you don't have a Twitter account, it's better you get it now, because it will be so beneficial to you as long as you use it in the right way. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, goodbye to everyone. We can continue interacting in WhatsApp group. Yeah. Okay. Good night to you all.